Well, hello everybody. I just thought I'd throw out a quick update about what's going on in my greenhouse and bits and pieces of my yard. So let's take a look around for this May the 14th of 2013. Start with the new stuff, I guess. So far that racked bed swirl filter seems to be definitely catching some of the garbage, filth, call it what you will, from the tank. So I'm going to say that sort of seems to be working. As far as the growing area, those lettuce are doing just great. We did end up putting up a bit of a shade, just a cheap dollar store window shade, and that's kept the temperature down enough that stopped everything from wilting, which was a bit of an issue. I don't know if it's bad plant selection or the purple bin makes it really hot or what, but that all seems to be doing well. So we've got some red oak leaf here, we've got some curled dwarf blue kale, something like that, I can't remember at the moment. Got a whole bunch of clones of various things from around the aquaponics system. And this one of the carrots that we pulled the other day, just letting it grow there. The greens are doing a fantastic job of staying alive. This is reuse romaine, planting a lot of old bits of salads lately. So this is the bottom of a head of romaine lettuce. Seems to be doing quite well, but it's a little soft, so I decided to put it in the shaded area. Luckily it didn't completely capsize my floating raft. But let's move into the pebble bed where I've got things growing in the pea gravel there. Now as you can see, things are getting much taller, can hardly see miles anymore. Decided I'd try a sunflower, and it's doing just ridiculously well. Don't know if it's gonna stop before it reaches the top of the greenhouse there or not, but we'll find out, won't we? Beside it here I've got another one of those red oak leaf lettuce. This thing is just huge. Just cut down the chives the other day, so that's probably not the best picture of them, but the rosemaries are doing nice. The miniature curry, the clones have rooted. There's my hand. So it's grown considerably so far this year. All of this tricolored sage. This stuff just seems to love the aquaponics and the heat, and it just can't get enough of it. Can't remember anymore if this is kohlrabi or broccoli. What I do know for sure is it's a great way to tell what the iron level's like in my tank. Put a little bit in yesterday, but I've been doing a lot of water changes, so I can see I still need to put a little bit more in there. My curry is doing fabulously well. We just had a whole bunch of this with some chicken the other night. Now these ones I know are kohlrabi. This one's starting to get a bit of a bulb going on there. The strawberries I've got in the aquaponics, there are still a few left. I keep raiding these every time I come in here because I can't help myself. They're just so tasty and juicy. Around midday when it's all nice and warm and they're kind of warm themselves, it's an explosion of flavor. I can't help it. Back here we've got some Swiss chard, because I love my Swiss chard. It's growing really very well. I'm very happy with the results of that. And we've got the container mints. Had a bit of an incident with my chocolate mint the other day. I forgot to water it and it wilted really, really bad, so I just kind of hacked the top off of it. Gave it a good watering, and I've been looking into Dutch bucket systems to see if I can prevent that from happening again. So what I did with my Greek oregano, to kind of test that theory, just drilled a little hole into an end cap. I pulled off my little draining straw, and that seems to be keeping a nice constant level in there. I've only had that going for a couple of days, so I don't know for sure how well that's working, but so far I'm very pleased with the results. Look forward to having that going on the truly hot days that are coming this summer. Down here you can see these regrown green onions. It's like the fourth time I think they've put the tops out now. I don't know, I've kind of lost track. We just cut them whenever we want chives or whatever. Because let's face it, green onions, chives, it's all pretty much the same. Let's check what's going on outside. Down here, kind of beside my compost and taking up one of the uglier corners of my backyard, this is where I like to plant my sunflowers because they kind of hide my shed. So I've got a couple of different varieties here. I've got red velvet and moon shadow. One of them is going to be really, really white, and the other is going to be a dark velvety red. I'm really excited about that. But what I put in at the bottom, just for something different, last year I tried growing peas and beans in here, and the mice just didn't want to share. So this year I'm putting some dill down there. We do seem to have a few sprouts, you know, not as many as I had hoped for. But some is good. I'll take some. And turning around behind me, front of the greenhouse, got those leeks that I planted out. Some of them anyway. There are leeks all over this yard. They seem to be doing really well in the buckets and in the reservoir bin. Over here we've got some English mint that isn't doing well, but I thought it was dead, so I guess compared to that it's doing great. Tried planting some ginger. So far all I've gotten there is weeds. Not thrilled about that, but you know, note to self, use organic ginger. One thing of interest here, this is a 5-bean soup mix that we got from the bulk section of the grocery store. And I thought, yeah, just for giggles, I'll take 2 of each and plant them in a bucket. Only seems to be one that hasn't sprouted so far. And I'm really very surprised and impressed. Look forward to seeing what comes of that. Over here I've got a couple of garlic. They're sprouting up. Pretty happy about that. Now this for sure is a broccoli, so that'll be good. A couple of black beauty eggplants. One of the wood bugs already ate the third one that I had in this top corner here, but you know, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Just ask Meatloaf. Some peppers, and this would be my cayenne pepper section. As you can see, still more peppers to be planted out there. But so far they're doing alright. Not quite as sunny back here as they might like, but they grew well last year, so I'm sure they'll grow well this year. Moving on. Got some dark opal basil started here. Never grown this variety before, but we do like our basils. Very fond of the Thai basil. Sweet basil's a little too mainstream for me, but very much looking forward to trying this. If we head into the front yard here, past all the debris from the windstorm yesterday. This area here, we had a friend whose little one finally upgraded to a princess bed, doesn't need her crib anymore. So she thought maybe I could make some use of it as trellis. We put our heads together, and this wonderfully redneck thing is what we've got. But, you know, I started some wando, take them out of the pod kind of peas, and snake gourds. Those ought to be really interesting. Apparently if you grow them right, you can make little musical instruments, recorders or flutes or something out of it. I don't know. Down here I've got some loofahs. Never grown those before, and they apparently require a really long season. But I'm going to try it anyway because I'm stubborn. And some zucchini when that comes up, and over here we've got acorn squash. I'm really excited about that because last year none of my squashes really sprouted and did much of anything, and this year that one already seems pretty happy. And beside it we've got some more snow peas planted, and here we have some modern early cucumbers and watermelon radishes. I was reading on the package, one thing it says is to plant some radishes around the base of your cucumber mounds. Apparently that helps keep the cucumber beetles away. And in the middle of all this I've got some lemongrass. Just transplanted that earlier, so that's going to hopefully get much, much bigger. But the lemongrass, the smell of that, in theory should help keep the wasps away, while the rest of it is attracting the bees and gets wonderfully pollinated. So I'm hopeful there. As you can see, the rhubarb is still doing just fine. And this Swiss chard, I've been doing some more research and comparing it to what's going on in the greenhouse. I don't think this is bolting. I think it's a biennial plant, which means in the second year of life it's going to go to seed. So that's what it looks like right now. And this plant has got to be a good 3 feet tall, maybe even 4 feet tall. But even the smallest one, out of the second year plants is doing that same thing. And you'll notice, even though it's hotter in the greenhouse, the ones I showed you earlier don't have anything like this. And that's because those are first year chard. So that's interesting. Got some Malabar spinach started here. It's another one of those things that never grown before. Really wanted to try this last year, but I couldn't find any seeds. So we've got it up against the wrought iron. Hopefully it'll climb up that and give us a little bit of shade in the evening. That'll be nice. And I've got some Bolivian rainbow peppers here, because I do love my hot peppers, right? And then this host of buckets over here. These are all seeds that I got from a plant salvaged last year. Little sign that said "Rescue Me" on it. 225 super chili peppers. And I got just a ton of seeds. Now I know there's some concern about cross-pollination and hybridization and all that jazz, but I planted these out just to see what would grow. I've got lots more to go, and you know, considering I'm going to say they're doing pretty well. I already need to go through there and pull some little weeds out, but otherwise those are looking pretty good for how late they were started. So I've got 9 buckets each there with a minimum of 5 plants each. So I'll be very curious to see what kind of pepper I get out of that and what kind of flavor it has. Look forward to showing you that as we go. And the last thing we've really got going up front right now is Shox has got these chickpeas that are growing in a wicking bucket, and I am just blown away by these things. They seem to get at least another inch taller every day. So, and again, this is something that came out of the bulk bin. They were in the cupboard. We figured plant them. She tried soaking some and not soaking others, and it kind of looks like the ones that we didn't soak are the ones that are getting nice and tall and just barely coming up there. That is the one that was soaked. So I'm going to say just plant them dry, and that works for chickpeas. Well, there you go. It's kind of an update about what we've got growing on the 14th of May, this 2013. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day.